First, let's settle into our meditation posture. Let's try and bring our mind into the same place as our body. So whether it's 7 in the morning or sometime tomorrow, the afternoon, the morning, whichever time zone you're in, just bring your mind to your breath. So check your legs. If you're sitting on a chair, make sure they're in a parallel position with the feet flat on the floor. If you're sitting on a chair in a cross-legged position, you can just be very relaxed and comfortable, unless you feel like sitting with both feet over your upper thighs. They call that the full vajra. Or you can do a half version of that. Then your hips raised slightly, coccyx raised, so your hips tip forward. And then just lengthen your spine. Just imagine you, from your coccyx all the way up to the crown of your head, you have this string of light made of pearls. So the pearls are just brilliant, radiant white light, and so is the string. And you could perhaps visualize that someone is very gently lengthening this string. So you put some space in between those vertebrae, in between the discs. Some air there. So you do have we all have these natural curves in our spine, so we'll never be completely straight. But we don't want to be slumped. So head slightly tip forward. If your head is too far back, it creates agitation in the mind. If it's too far forward, you kind of mind becomes dull. So just somewhere in between, eyes down, about 2 inches in front. Relax your jaw, tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth, and this is when we're in excuse me, long periods of meditation, hours and hours and hours, if we ever get there. This helps to stop us from dribbling, they say. Now let's just go to the crown of our head and just relax our scalp. You'll notice as soon as you do that, your whole face relaxes. Relax the forehead and the temples, your nose, and cheeks, the area around your mouth, in front of your neck. Then go back up and just check the back of your scalp. What's happening there? The back of your neck. Relax your shoulders, arms, hands, fingers, legs, feet and toes. Just let your belly go. For so many of us, when we're doing yoga or various different exercises, we're told to kind of strengthen our core. But in this case, just allow your skeleton to be your frame and try and relax your muscles. And then bring the mind to the breath. Just notice the cool air as you're breathing in, the sensation on the outside of the nostrils, and then the warm air as you're breathing out. And just think we're going to do this meditation practice this morning. We'll be doing a very, very simple meditation practice using Medicine Buddha. Visualize Medicine Buddha. And it's a similar practice to what we're doing with the Vajrasattva in the evenings, this one. So I just think we're going to do this practice to help work on our minds, to purify our negativities, delusions. our illnesses, our sickness. And at the same time, we'll also think of all the other people who are suffering right now with all the COVID in the country and all over the world. And the healthcare workers, the doctors, and particularly the nurses who are taking care of people who are very sick. And if there's anyone in your own life as well. So we just do it for them. So just keep the mind on the breath. I just wanted to read you a little bit about what Lamy Eshe says about prostration. He calls this chapter Making Space for Wisdom. Why do we make prostrations at the beginning of teaching and meditation sessions? It's to beat our ego down a bit. Egocentric pride looks at things very superficially and never sees the nature of reality. When we prostrate, we're not prostrating to the material objects on the altar, but paying homage to true understanding wisdom. People who have taken Dharma teachings before know this well. I mention it mainly for new students. Prostration isn't just a Buddhist custom. To make sure that giving teachings does not become an ego trip, even great teachers like His Holiness the Dalai Lama will prostrate before they get up on the throne. In fact, to diminish pride and becoming more grounded in reality, both teacher and student should prostrate before a teaching. Otherwise, there's no space for understanding wisdom. The proud mind is like a desert. Nothing can grow in a mind full of pride. That's why we prostrate towards the altar prior to giving and taking teachings. In our everyday lives, if we prostrate to things that are not worthwhile, of course, we don't say that we're prostrating, but in fact, we can constantly pay homage to our pride and ego. Instead of prostrating to pride and ego, we should prostrate to understanding wisdom. The Tibetan term for prostration is chagsal. In Sanskrit, chag is mudra. The interpretive meaning of mudra is wisdom. Understanding, knowledge, wisdom is the actual mudra. Sal means to bow down before or pay homage to obeisance to something. Therefore, chagsal means to bow down to wisdom. When we prostrate, our mental attitude should be one that recognizes the harmful nature of egocentric pride and understands that knowledge, wisdom is the only worthwhile guide. If you don't have this respectful attitude, you might as well not bow down. If you're not prostrating with your mind, there's no need to prostrate physically simply for the sake of show or custom. Tradition is not that important, but if you recognize how your pride functions and prostrate to wisdom instead, that is very effective, and doing so makes prostrating a means of training your mind. So there you go. We're prostrating to our own wisdom and our own potential and beating down our ego. So let's just bring the mind to the breath. And any thoughts that arise, just allow them to be there. And try not to have an opinion or follow a story. Just bring the mind back to the breath. Bring your mind back to the breath. Just the breath. So now, just as we do with the Vajrasattva meditation, purification practice, just bring to the crown of your head. Matt, if you would be so kind as to put that drawing. So this is all I was able to find this morning on my computer. It's actually a drawing of Medicine Buddha by one of our prisoners, Andrew Pendleton, and he's no longer incarcerated, but he's done quite a nice job. So I thought we would use this one this morning. So just visualize the Medicine Buddha is a few inches above the crown of our head. He's sitting on a moon disc. And this rests in the center of an open lotus. His legs are crossed in the full Vajra. And he's facing the same direction we're facing. So as you can see, his body is made of this brilliant blue, royal blue light. This translucent light. It's almost like a hologram on the crown of our head. And in the text, they call it, it's like a lapis lazuli. I think Rinpoche's recently started thinking of it as more like a color of sapphire. So the body is also radiating light. And they say with these Buddhas, if you could actually see them if they were really here, they would be so bright we wouldn't be able to even look at them. His right hand, he's resting on his right knee in the gesture of granting sublime realizations. This is his thumb and forefinger touching. And he's holding the stem of an arura flower, a plant. This must be a medicinal plant, I think. His left hand in his lap is in the gesture of concentration and holds a bowl filled with nectar. So this nectar is healing medicine. He wears the 3 saffron robes of a monk and has all the signs and marks of a fully enlightened Buddha. His face is peaceful and smiling. He's got these kind of lotus-like eyes. He's looking at all of us with immeasurable compassion and kindness, just wishing to be able to heal us and help us. Immense love. So visualization is quite difficult. Not all of us are visualizers. You can visualize this ball of blissful, radiant blue light on the crown of your head. And you can imagine this is a healing light. So just try and get a sense of the presence of this medicine Buddha on the crown of our heads. And this medicine Buddha is the embodiment of all enlightened beings and their sublime qualities. Really try again to get a sense of this presence. I'll just recite this prayer. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By my practice giving and the other perfections, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. May all sentient beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all sentient beings be inseparable from the happiness that is free from suffering. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free from attachment and anger that holds some close and others distant. And then I'll just recite this prayer to Medicine Buddha while just keep visualizing this presence of this light in the crown of our heads. To the Bhagawan, Tathagata, Arhat, fully enlightened Buddha, Medicine Guru, King of Lapis Light, I prostrate, go for refuge and make offerings. May your vow to benefit sentient beings now ripen for myself and others. To the Bhagawan, Tathagata, Arhat, fully enlightened Buddha, Medicine Guru, King of Lapis Light, I prostrate, go for refuge and make offerings. May your vow to benefit sentient beings now ripen upon myself and others. To the Bhagawan, Tathagata, Arhat, fully enlightened Buddha, Medicine Guru, King of Lapis Light, I prostrate, go for refuge and make offerings. May your vow to benefit sentient beings now ripen for myself and others. So now we just visualize infinite rays of radiant white light flowing down from the heart and the body of the Medicine Buddha. And this light pours into us through our crown and fills our body and purifies all disease, afflictions due to spirits or black magic. This is what's in the text, as well as the cause of these problems, our negative karma and our delusions and our mental obscurations. And all these negativities leave our body in the form of a thick black liquid like engine oil, and then we imagine our body becomes as clean and clear as crystal. And you can imagine also that all beings are being purified in this same way. So just in a moment, just stay there while Matt gets up the mantra. It's in the sadhana mat, and just if you can get it up, and there it is. Okay, excellent. So we're going to do the short mantra here, and you can just listen if you want, or you can try and do it. The tune I'm going to do is from the Kagyu Lama. So just to go back to the visualization again, we just visualize this blissful, radiant white light coming from Medicine Buddha, purifying us and dissolving all our disease. The light goes into every single cell, muscle, our bones, into our blood, just filling us completely at every level. Taya Tam Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Raja Samangate Swaha Taya Tam Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Raja Samangate Swaha Taya Tam Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Raja Samangate Soha Tayata Hom Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Raja Samangate Soha Tayata Hom Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Raja Samungate Soha Tayata Hom Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Raja Samungate Soha Tayata Hom Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Raja Samangate Soha. So you can just keep reciting the mantra under your breath. You can chant it to yourselves or just recite it quickly under your breath while we continue the visualization. If you can't get a mantra, don't worry, just visualize. So we'll just keep reciting the mantra and visualize that the light is flowing from the medicine Buddha, filling our body continuously. And you can imagine that the same is happening to all the other beings as well. And all our delusions, our sickness, our negativities, our depression, our anxiety, our worry, all the pressure we feel at work. It's all kind of just being dispelled, disappearing into space. This thick, black, oily, mucky stuff leaving us and filling us with this blissful, radiant light. And our body becomes crystal clear. Tayata Om Bekanzi Bekanzi Maha Bekanzi Bekanzi Raja Samangate Swaha. So now, remembering we have Medicine Buddha on the crown of our head, just remember now, just imagine that he melts into light and then absorbs into us through our crown and absorbing into our heart. So you imagine our mind, the mind of our lamas, our teachers, our guru, Medicine Buddha's mind, and our body, and our speech, and our lama's body and speech, Medicine Buddha's body and speech, all become one. So we just let our mind rest here for a moment. Our body is crystal clear. This is our true nature. So now we'll just make an aspiration that everybody that sees us, everyone that hears us, smells us, touches us, can somehow be touched by the healing power of this medicine Buddha. And just dedicate that the merit that we've created this morning, this positive energy that we've created this morning together, it may bring, physical and mental health to all sentient beings, to ourselves. And if there's anyone you know right now who has either passed away, it doesn't have to, it can be any pets or friends, family, just dedicate this practice for them. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for your time, attention. So lovely to see you all.
Thank you.